Hi everyone, this is Anna Finch from Finch Press. I hope everyone's had a good day. So, this is part two of my review for the publishing platforms. Again, this is just my experience and how I found using the forms and things like that. So, I'm going to talk first about Amazon. So, I decided last minute to publish directly with Amazon the ebook because I wanted my book available for pre-order, and Draft to Digital doesn't have pre-orders available for Amazon. And I'm like, you know what, I might as well just do it directly. I'll watch a couple of videos, I'll ask questions if I get stuck, but I might as well do it directly. So when I created a KDP account, creating an account was super easy. Do be aware you can only have one KDP account. So if you forget your login, actually contact Amazon and say, hey, I forgot my login. This is my name. Or if you know what your username is but you can't remember the password, reset the password. Don't create a new account. If you forget, contact them and tell them you forgot what your login was. Here's my email. This is basic, and they will ask for confirmation to make sure you're the right person, and they could actually help you with that. Don't create a new one. If you create more than one KDP account, they can terminate your account. It's against their policies. One KDP account per person. That's it. Okay. They have very strict guidelines when it comes to using their services and their platform. When it comes to things like reviewing, when it comes to uploading files, when it comes to publishing with them, and like accounts and all that, it's very strict and they're very, very specific. So you need to read their community guidelines. Read them. Don't ignore it. Read it. Okay, so that's out of the way. So creating a KDP account was super easy. Took me a minute. Setting up the account with bank information, that was a bit trickier because again, I live in Australia. I put my Australian account information, and it says on the thing that it can accept currency 12 from the 12 different Amazon platforms. And I click on it, like the only Amazon platform that doesn't have a yellow warning sign next to it, yellow warning sign triangle thing next to it, was Australia's site. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Here's a tip. If you don't live in the US, the only way you can get deposits into your own currency in your bank account from your country is if the platform or the Amazon site is for your country, from what I can understand. So if you want to get in pounds, you need to have a British bank account. If you live in Britain, you'd have a British bank account. But you're aware you may not be able to get the payments from the US store, the Australian store, Canadian store, and so on and so forth. You can only get payments into that account without a threshold limit for the UK account, or for the whatever account your main country is. So be aware. So when I went like that, I'm like, what? Like, I can't, like, it only accepts banking information. I can't put my PayPal. I'm like, what the hell? How do I get my money? How do I get paid? Because if your bank doesn't accept transfers from the other Amazon sites for whatever reason, as an EFT payment, which is the standard payment, which is very quick, then they have to do a wire transfer. Wire transfers have fees, which means if they have to do a wire transfer, you need to have $100 in each currency in order to get paid in that currency, or to get paid via wire transfer into your account. And I don't want to pay those fees. I don't want to, like, some of the stores, I could be getting one sale every couple of months. This is maybe like for the Brazilian store. Okay, I've been to Brazil. Okay, I've been to South America. I know roughly what the economic situation is like. Most people will not buy books regularly from Amazon. Not a English-speaking book. Okay, the English-speaking books they may buy are the ones about how to learn the language. But so I don't like. I may get from the Brazilian store one sale every 6 months. Okay, but the profit from that sale would be only $2, right, or $3 maybe in royalties, which means it could be years before I get a wire transfer payment from the Brazilian store. And I don't want to wait years before I get paid, because I have to pay taxes on this stuff. If you're in a country where you put the account in and you can't get paid through the EFT payments, you're probably going to have to open a Payoneer account, which is what I had to do. And this is so you don't have to have a threshold or meet the threshold in order to get paid. There are fees with Payoneer. If you have to, because once the money is in the Payoneer account, you have to then transfer from the Payoneer account to your bank account into your currency. So there's currency conversion fees, and then there's a bank transfer fee. It happens, but there's that. And I had to do that in order to get paid via EFT from all of the other platforms. Luckily, with one account in Payoneer, I could get paid in US dollars from all the other accounts. Yeah, so there's that. The bank, that personal information, easy to do. The tax information, KDP has a really great video on how to actually fill in the form with your tax information, and it's super easy. They use similar terminology as to what Google does, but they also have a little bubble that says, like a little question mark saying what it is it's actually doing, and they do explain it. So I was able to fill that in pretty easy. Once all that stuff was done, uploading the ebook because I already had the keywords and everything already done. 5 minutes. Like, it took me maybe 5 minutes to upload the ebook after I got all the account and dealing with making sure my account was set up properly and all that sort of stuff. So setting it up was easy. I could do a paperback through Amazon, but then I would have to wait until Ingram removed my paperback from the Amazon page, and quite frankly, I can't be bothered. Not for this one. So I may end up doing a paperback with using KDP for the next book, as well as Ingram. But this time I really can't be bothered fiddling around with it. I'm just leaving it. Another plus with Amazon, they have this thing called Amazon or Author Central. You can have an author page. You do need to claim the books that you use, but it's super easy to set it up. You use your KDP account for Author Central. Once that's done, you fill in the key details. You add your biography. You add maybe a photo. You claim your books. You can add editorial reviews onto those pages, onto the actual books themselves. So it's easy. And it's like there's that. There's also you can also do promotions, or you can actually advertise. You can advertise your book using Amazon advertising. You can do that for all of the platforms that Amazon uses. So when you click on the promote and advertise button next to the ebook or print book, you click on the market, so the US, UK, whatever. So I clicked US first, then I did UK, then I did Australia, but it basically creates a separate ad account for each of them. So you would have separate ebook marketing. You would have separate marketing for each platform, which can help. It means you can target using one browser, one account in different countries, which is good. Just be aware that with every other branch, every other Amazon platform except the US, so except for the US, every other platform will only do the sponsored product ads rather than the static display ads. Only the US does both. You only have the sponsored product ads for all the other platforms. Creating the ads was easy. Overall, I found it super easy to use. Amazon was super easy to use. I found it easier to use as an author trying to sell a product than I do as a customer. I found it a lot easier to use as a person trying to sell a product than as a customer, because as a customer, I generally I don't enjoy buying stuff from Amazon. I generally don't buy books from Amazon unless they're only available on Amazon. If I can buy the books from the bookstore, or if I can order them from the bookstore, I go to my local bookstore. But that's just me. So Amazon overall, as an author, it's easy to use, it's intuitive, and they've got a whole range of things available for you. They do have things like promos and price deals and things like that, but you have to be in KDP Select, and I am not in KDP and I can't do that. So I don't know how I'm going to run the promotions and things later on via that. I don't know how to set that up, but I've got to have to work it out. So now for Google. Creating an account for Google Play Books, because I'm going directly with Google Play, is easy. It's easy to do. And creating the account, adding your information, the publishing information, the bank information, all that is easy. That bit's easy. It took me less than 10 minutes. The US tax information thing that you have to fill in on Google, I still haven't filled it in. I contacted Google for help with it. The person, because I asked for a live chat, they got back to me in like 2 minutes, and I was actually talking with someone online and trying to get this form filled in. They were helpful to a point, and I got most of it filled in. There's just one section I have no clue how to fill in, because the language used is full of legal jargon that I can't understand what it's actually asking me. And I studied law. I've got a background in law. I studied law in my undergraduate, particularly contract law. But the terms used are specific to the US, and they've used so much in a way that I've never seen it done before like that, and I didn't understand it. They can't explain that sort of stuff to you because that's tax information, and you have to get information from a tax agent for it. I've sent those sections to my tax agent, still hasn't gotten back to me. But my book is live on Google. As long as I get the help from my tax agent for that section before my launch date, it's okay. Now, Google, they vet your account. So they make sure that the person who sets the account is legit. They check to make sure that they're meeting the guidelines. They review the book. They're very thorough. Generally, it takes them 12 business days. They say 12 business days to review your account after you set up. So if you say set up a book title, until your account's finished reviewing, your book's not going to be live or viewable on Google Books. They say 12 business days just so that they have that leeway if there's any delays and things. But it took them less time. I thought it wouldn't have been done until the 30th of September, which is when 12 business days would have been up. But it's now the 15th. So they did it in maybe 5 business days. They did it in about 5 business days. So it was pretty quick. My book's now live on Google Play. It's now available for pre-order. It's now also people can search it up and it will appear on Google Books in the Google Books search engine. The prices are the same in all platforms, but it's now available for the pre-order on there. It's now available for pre-order and Amazon as well. So the only real issue I had with Google Play was the nature of the US tax information, because it's a US based company. That was tricky. That's the most difficult thing in Google. Everything else is practically super easy to fill in. The royalty rates for Google, 70%. in specific countries and currencies. In other countries, it depends. You may get about 50% royalty if it's not within a certain price range and things like that. But it's generally, it's pretty easy to use. Once you get past that tax information, it's easy to use. Uploading a book was easy. They don't use the keywords like what Amazon does, where you put 7 keywords like YA fairy tale retelling or whatever. You use BISAC codes, and you get keywords by searching the BISAC and the bit codes for different countries and regions. So you can do as many categories as you want for your and they can match your keywords that you would use, but you have to use those sort of things. What else? I'm pretty sure Google also does audiobooks, so it does ebook and audiobook. So you can do that. You can run promotions on Google Books. I don't think I mentioned the royalties for the other one, but overall, the reasons why I did those platforms was mainly for ease of use, and so I could get better visibility. Publishing with Google Play Books basically means your book is now optimized when it comes to search, because if someone types a sentence that appears in your book can show up on the Google searches. You can also do ads using the same Google account. So some of the ones I didn't mention were I published on Apple through Draft to Digital. The main reason why I didn't publish directly to Apple is because in Australia, if you're an Australian author and you're publishing in Australia to Apple directly, you're required, according to them, to have a GST registration. You have to register for GST. When in Australia, according to our laws, we're not required to register for GST unless we earn $75,000 or more in a year. I don't know about you, but I haven't heard of many independent authors who earn $75,000 on their first book before end of financial year. Because once you register for GST, that's an extra bunch of tax that's added on to the thing. It's another thing you have to deal with. I am not going to get GST. I'm not going to register for GST unless I have to freaking do it. And the government says I don't have to do it unless I earn $75,000. So I'm not going to do it. Whereas Apple actually requires us to do it, despite the fact it's not a legal requirement. So that's part of the reason why I didn't publish directly with Apple. I mean, you can still get the things like the free codes that you normally get from Apple. You can ask for it via Draft to Digital. So there's that. Nook, didn't publish directly to Nook because Nook is a US-based company only. And quite frankly, I looked at their system and I'm like, that's too hard. It's too hard for me. I'm like, no, I might as well just publish using Draft to Digital. Makes it easier. I can do all the specials and things through there. So there's that. Lulu. I didn't use Lulu because the printing costs were too high and print and shipping costs are too high for people who live in Australia. I had to fill in the YWE form. I mean, they've improved the platform since when I first started looking at this sort of stuff. But the print costs and the shipping costs, personally, for a single book was too much to ship to Australia. To ship to Australia was too much. It was cheaper to print a proof copy via Ingram Spark and have it shipped to my house because the printer in Australia is in the same city I live in. It's in Melbourne. So I can get the book within 1-2 business days after printing. Whereas with Lulu, I would have to wait a month, maybe more, to get a proof copy. And by the time I get the proof copy, the book's gone to the printer, or maybe the book's already on launch. So that's kind of why I didn't go with Lulu. But they do have some great offers. If you're in the US, then they are pretty great, and they don't charge for uploading. They also do hardback too. And they do comics and visual novels, which is good. And then you can publish directly on their platform. Another one I didn't use was Smashwords. I didn't use Smashwords. Smashwords is an aggregator as well, like Lulu and Draft to Digital. But I looked at their platform I've tried to find out how to use it as a publisher, as an author. In finding the information, honestly, I couldn't find much. Not that I couldn't find much. It was hard to get the information and understand it because I'd get blocks of text. The website itself looked old. It didn't look inviting, and it was difficult to navigate. Personally, I found it difficult to navigate, and from things I heard, I had to format the book in a especially different way for Smashwords. Maybe they've changed it since I looked into it. I don't know. If they have, let me know in the comments. But I didn't want to fiddle around with the formatting. I was using Vellum for formatting, and it looked good, and I didn't want to mess around with it. And even though they offered many more retailers than Draft to Digital, they still didn't offer Google Play, by the way. I decided, no, I'm not going to mess around with it. No. It's too hard. It's too difficult, and I'm already publishing on as many platforms as it is. Another one I didn't mention, or another one I didn't use, was Publish Drive. Publish Drive publishes to Google Play. They are a distributor, and they distribute to Google Play. Reason why I didn't go with them, they operate on a subscription basis, which means you have to pay a fee per month per title for the number of titles you have on there in order to use their services. It's $10 for, I think, 2 books, maybe 1 book, or 2 books maybe, for $10 US, by the way. That's closer to maybe 20 in Australian. If you have 10 books, it's 20 something US, I think, and it gets higher with the number of books you have. You pay that per month. What happens if those platforms don't earn you a lot of money? Then what? You're losing money. So personally, I didn't choose to go with Publish Drive, because what happens if all those platforms, except for one, what happens if all those platforms, no one buys my book on those platforms? Then I'm paying for a service that isn't making me any money. So I'm like, no. And I couldn't find any other aggregators that published to Google Play. So I'm like, I might as well try and publish it directly. So, yeah, that's pretty much my experience, and I kind of mentioned why I didn't use certain platforms. Have you used any of these platforms? If you have, let me know how it went with you guys when it comes to publishing and uploading, things like that. If you've used Smashwords, Lulu, Publish Drive, especially as a non-US author, if you've used any of those platforms, or if you've published directly with Apple as a non-US author or writer, let me know. I'm interested in hearing your experiences. You can leave comments down below. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I am doing a live stream on the 23rd of October at 5 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. I'm doing it here on YouTube. You can actually click on the live stream and set a reminder, and it should also tell you when it is in your time zone. I will be doing a live reading of Voiceless, and I will also be answering questions about the book, about the themes, inspiration, and things like that. And you can ask me those questions directly in the live stream, and I'll be able to speak with you directly in that. And my book is available for pre-order. At the time of this recording, you can also access an ARC copy if you are interested. You can access it using Booksprout, Story Origin, or Readsy Discovery. If you've got an account with any of those 3 platforms, you can literally just type in the title of my book, Voiceless, A Mermaid's Tale, my author name, Anna Finch, and you'll be able to find it and request an ARC copy from Booksprout and Story Origin. for Readsy Discovery, if you have an account with Readsy Discovery, or you are a reviewer for Readsy Discovery, you can request a copy and you can actually read the book before it comes out on sale. I think that's pretty much it. But yeah, so the books are now available for pre-order on Amazon. So Voiceless is now available for pre-order on Amazon in ebook. It's available on Nook, Kobo, Apple, Google. Yeah, it's available on those 5 platforms, and it will be available through some subscription services like Overdrive and Kobo Plus, which is fairly similar to KDP Select. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys have a great day and stay safe. See ya.
Voiceless is available for pre-order now on many stores. The links are down below, and you can join me on YouTube for my launch party on the 23rd of October, 5 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time.